They told you to dream, to visualize, to manifest, to set goals. But rich men don't dream. They design. They don't chase motivation. They architect inevitability. They don't hope for success. They build conditions where failure can't survive. That's not luck. That's not fate. That's engineering domination. And that is the Machiavellian playbook. Welcome to Psygrythm, where comfort is the enemy, and control is the language of evolution. If you came for inspiration, you're in the wrong place. If you came for power, stay, because today you'll learn why the wealthy don't set goals. They build systems that make goals irrelevant. A poor man dreams. A rich man designs outcomes. Every empire begins as a blueprint, a structure of decisions, layered with foresight, leverage, and cold detachment. The wealthy don't write goals on vision boards, they write contracts with reality. When they set a target, they don't hope for it. They engineer the environment to make it unavoidable. That's the difference. A goal depends on willpower. An engineered outcome depends on design. Willpower fluctuates. Design compounds. That's the Machiavellian secret to inevitability. You don't chase the result. You remove all alternatives. A poor man works in systems. A rich man works on systems. When most people set goals, they focus on actions, not architecture. They think effort creates outcomes. But effort without systems is chaos. The wealthy think in cause and effect loops. They ask, how do I build a machine that runs while I sleep? How do I turn human psychology into infrastructure? To them, systems are leverage, multiplying each hour, each decision, each perception into perpetual motion. They design habits that remove friction, alliances that remove risk, and environments that force progress. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on mechanics. Because emotion is wind, systems are gravity. Machiavelli taught one eternal law: he who controls perception controls reality. Rich men don't obey systems. They bend them. They learn the rules, then they build paths through them, around them, under them. They turn institutions into infrastructure. They turn trends into leverage. They turn perception into profit. You see, the system isn't broken, it's biased. And those who understand bias rule it. The wealthy don't complain about power structures, they study them. They don't rebel emotionally, they infiltrate strategically. Every system is a map of incentives. And if you learn to trace those incentives back to their source, you'll see the control lines. When you can see the control lines, you no longer play the game. You redesign it. Perception is the oldest currency of power. It moves before money, before politics, before violence. Rich men understand that control is not about truth, it's about belief. They craft narratives so potent that reality bends to them. They use image as armor, silence as tension, timing as a blade. They know the crowd doesn't follow reason, it follows rhythm. So they compose attention like music. They don't talk to convince, they talk to condition. They don't reveal, they frame. That's why you never know what the rich are planning. You only see the aftershock. They don't chase virality, they weaponize curiosity. They don't speak often, because every word they say becomes gospel. In a world addicted to noise, silence becomes a throne. Every empire is built in cold rooms, away from applause, away from chaos. While others announce, the strategist calculates. While others start, he positions. Machiavelli taught that speed without foresight is suicide. Execution, for the powerful, is surgical. They act not when ready, but when timing fractures in their favor. They don't move often, but when they move, the ground shifts. Precision is their obsession. They remove emotion from decision-making, not because they lack feeling, but because they value outcome over validation. They know the loud are predictable, the emotional are exploitable. The impulsive are disposable. True control is not aggression. It's measured inevitability. Weak men break under pressure. Powerful men harvest it. Pressure is raw energy, chaos in condensed form. The rich convert it into momentum, like alchemists turning pain into productivity. They don't avoid stress, they refine it. Every obstacle becomes data. Every betrayal becomes intel. Every failure becomes fuel. This is not resilience, it's transmutation. Machiavellian resilience means using pain as leverage. The more chaos you can absorb without breaking, the more control you accumulate. You are not supposed to escape pressure. You are supposed to use it to sharpen your dominance. That's how the rich think. Stress is not a threat. It's a currency of control. You are never free until you've designed your exits. Every deal, every relationship, every empire, the wealthy enter with one question. How do I leave without losing? Because freedom is not ownership, it's mobility. Machiavelli wrote that the wise ruler always keeps an escape. Even from his own success, the poor commit emotionally. The rich commit strategically. They design escape routes before they enter the room. They structure power so that no single failure can destroy them. Their wealth isn't in what they hold, it's in how they can move. And in that freedom, they are untouchable. In the age of noise, silence is sacred. The rich don't post every win. They don't argue. They don't defend. Their quiet is not emptiness, it's control. Every silence you notice is a signal, a recalibration, a calculation. They understand what most don't. When you speak, you give away positioning. When you react, you give away predictability. When you explain, you give away leverage. So they hold silence the way others hold weapons. They let curiosity do the persuasion. They let mystery do the marketing. And when they finally do speak, the world listens. Not because of volume, but because of rarity. At the highest level, domination is not force, it's inevitability. The wealthy don't fight for control. They design for it. They don't chase goals. They engineer conditions where success emerges naturally. That's what makes it look like fate. They've already played out every scenario. They've already built contingencies inside contingencies. Their victories don't surprise them. They schedule them. While the masses call it destiny, they call it design. That is the cold beauty of Machiavellian power. Inevitability masquerading as luck. To be untouchable. You must master 3 forces. 1. Perception. So the world moves on your image, not your reality. 2. Position, so no one can corner you, no matter how they attack. 3. Precision, so every move you make echoes longer than 100 words. That's the holy trinity of control. That's the Sigrithm doctrine. It's not about greed. It's about sovereignty. It's not about domination for its own sake. It's about building a life so engineered that no one else gets a vote in your outcome. When you master this, the world no longer feels random. It feels designed by you. Most people set goals because they need direction. Powerful people design systems because they are direction. While the world dreams of success, you will architect inevitability. While they chase approval, you will engineer control. This is the doctrine of cold creation. This is the Sigrithm way. Rich men don't set goals. They engineer domination, and those who learn this don't chase power. They become it. And I build thrones, not wishes. If you're done with comfort, then stake your identity below with I am untouchable. If this hits your marrow, like, subscribe, and activate your silence. More Machiavellian doctrine is coming. Sigrithm doesn't chase easy. We turn hard into yield.